This is your girl Blessing. This is Ethra Vibes. And if you don't know what Ethra Vibes is by now, it's a podcast, a lifestyle culture. And I'm here to introduce myself properly and to show you what Ethra Vibes really is for me. Ethra Vibes is, like I say at the end of my videos, if you watch the end of my videos, it's a heavenly spiritual frequency that we live in, and why I picked that name is because people that I come across and everything, their main goal in their life is to have peace in their life or happiness or perfect it. They are trying to perfect their own happiness. And trying to do this when you have so many issues mentally around you and everything, that's hard. The people I've come across as I've been on this journey of networking, getting to know people, not just, you see me with these DJs, you see me with the artists and everything, but I'm not trying to focus on just the artists. Like Ace said, it's such a bigger issue that we don't even realize in Chicago that we need to talk about. As I've been researching and everything, Chicago right now, we have had an increase in black women and men in suicide rates. Black men have gone up in 19%, as black women have gone up in 8% in suicide rates. And majority, like we all know, the majority for everybody though is white men also. That's an increasing suicide rate as we speak now. But seeing that our community is increasing in the black community, the suicide rates and everything, we need to address the issue. So I've said, as a person who's lost a partner to suicide, I said that it's kind of time that we really need to address the problem on a bigger scale. Like we are, saying we need to check on one another, but we're not providing the outlets. We're not providing the support as a community like we need to. Like I want to say that we are all together in this, but reality, a lot of people still have old school mindsets about how mental health is, and that we should, ignore it, or we don't have the time enough to address the issue. And that's not right on our parts if we're trying to better ourselves as a community. And when I say community, I mean we are as a whole as Chicago. Like I say in the beginning of my podcast, as you know, I say again, it's a lifestyle, a culture podcast. And when I say lifestyle and culture, this is an everyday living for all of us. Like you have to have this mindset that you want to have happiness. And it's not easy to get to that point. But once you get there, or once you find a spot where you're like, I don't want to go back to how I felt before, you're never going to go back to that feeling. And that's speaking from a person who's even had to celebrate her own suicide ideation days. Like the day I decided I was going to do it, my life, literally after that point, a big upside down change to where I never felt like I ever wanted to do it again. I never felt that I was worthless again. And not saying that I don't struggle with my mental health every single day still, but I'm saying that I had to figure out a different way, because even though I know when a person's tired, they're tired, then someone else is willing to pick up that fight for them. And on that day, for me, it was my mom and my sister calling me when I was about to do it. And I can laugh about it now. Ooh, I'm about to cry. And I can, tear about it now. But the bigger thing is about this is that I want to bring a message to the community of Chicago. I want to bring something bigger to Chicago and really, put out the ideas of we need each other in a way. Like freaking Slot said, like a brotherhood, sisterhood, anything like that. It brings more than we even understand to our souls as a community. Like we are, if you don't know what a soul family is, we are soul families more than you think. You end up finding people for a reason. And those people can pour into you just like how you can pour into them. And sometimes you find people that need to pour into you in the ways that you never thought you needed. And you are probably like, I don't need to hear this. And they poured into you in a way where you stop one day and say, I really needed that for that moment. And that is what this is about. I want you to feel like I needed that. I needed to hear this more than ever among us. I needed to hear someone else say it for me. I needed to hear I'm worthy enough, that I'm more than enough to do what I need to do, even if I'm not doing nothing too big. It don't matter how big of a scale that you're doing your stuff on. It really don't matter. I'm a platform with freaking 90 freaking followers. Do I care? No. I care about the message more than anything. I don't give a fuck. Like, this is big. Like, to me, this is bigger than no one else can even see. And that is why I'm doing it. This is why I call it Ethereal Vibes. I want everybody to perfect their own happiness at their own pace, at their own frequency of what makes them keep striving to want to live. That just concludes me introducing myself, you guys, and introducing what this platform is about. You may see I'm not going to stick with one way of doing this content. I'm not. I'm finding different multiple ways. It was going to be a cooking show. It still might be a cooking show. I'm still going to do that. It's going to be my friends coming over. It's going to be me going out, me just taking out my people I'm interviewing on, little restaurants and sitting there and just talking to them. It's going to be a platform where this is not one way of spreading the message. I don't care about how the way I spread it. I just want it to be out there. And if you ever, ever want to talk to me or even just discuss certain things in private that doesn't even have to be in an interview, I am always open for that also. I don't, I'm more of a leaning shoulder. I want to put out a leaning shoulder to those, especially as we are entering into the new year. We might have lost so many people this year to suicide, and going into new year, we might lose some more. Being real with ourselves. And I want to be that leaning shoulder before it hits the wall. I want to be the shoulder you cry on before you say fuck it all. Let me at least talk you out of it one good time. And I might not be the best talker, but I'm a great listener. But yeah, to conclude, I'm happy to properly introduce myself. And like I said, you hear me say it all the time, Ethereal Vibes and what it's about. But in whole, Ethereal Vibes is really just an ode to those that we've lost to mental health. The people that are fighting mental health. The families that have been broken from the people that they've lost to mental health and everything. This isn't to be a joke. I want it to be good vibes. I want it to be positive. I want it to be everything and more to spread this message that we are really, going through something right now. And I can't wait to share more content with you guys. I try my hardest to upload frequently and on time. I really do try. It's just so hard when you work at a 9 to 5. But I do try to upload, and I try to find things that I think that you guys will like. But to conclude, you guys, again, this is Ethereal Vibes, and I'm your host, Mr. Moses Blessing, and I can't wait to share more with you guys. Bye.